Okay, we continue today working small and long angles, so short and small angles. So in working small and short angles, we really have to understand there's certain parts of our ranges of motions we try to avoid because it costs us too much energy, yet we have to be able to do them. One is deep knee flexion, one is plantar flexion of the feet, another one is the extension of the hips, and obviously there's multitude of shoulder motions that we have to be able to do both in the long motions, in our long angles, and also short angles. And we get used to working things only in certain positions. We call those efficiency patterns. We work the body in only a certain way, and our job is to try to undo that pattern to create balance, because in balance we undo things like unintentional limp. But the thing is, if we get long angles on one side of the body, which we typically do into our left leg, and short angles on the right, because we stand like this all day long, we start creating unintentional limp, and we have very different movement mechanics, leading to situations of chronic pain, which don't seem to make sense. Because we'll blame it on the thing that that thing we picked up that hurts our back because of the muscular imbalance. But what we don't realize, it was a pattern that was established just by the way we stand, and we created that efficiency pattern. So we're going to look at all the motions, small angles and long angles, and we're going to see what we can undo. So where we first start is we're going to start with stretch. So if you're wondering what unintentional limp is, you can look back 3 weeks on the videos, and went over that quite extensively. We're starting this newer module of looking at short and small angles. So we're going to start by stretching out the calf, because this gets a long angle on something that flexes the body, your hamstrings and your calves, specifically your calves. And we're going to start here. Abs are nice and tight, feet are parallel, shoulder blades are down, back. First, second, third chakras are on. Your first chakra is your pelvic floor, second chakra is your lower ab, third chakra is your upper ab. We're going to draw our shoulder blades down and back, and you're going to get your head over the top of your pelvic floor. Keeping your abs on, we're just going to pump the hips forward. So like I said, the hamstrings and the calves shorten. And when it do, in general, it causes your legs to flex. Except there's one that causes your ankle to extend, but that's a different story. For the most part, when these groups tighten up, it really affects fundamental posture. Either causes us to bend our legs, that's a short angle version of it, or we'll overly straighten our legs, hyperextend our legs, and that causes us to round our shoulders and have anterior head carriage. So right now we're trying to undo that. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. Woo, look what's going away. Look. Okay, keep breathing.
Momona misses you.
No. Okay, and here we go. We're going to do our step forward, step back, hips back. This is more a functional movement. This is in the long angle. So the joint's near locked out. And this is what we should be able to do with our leg behind us. If you're having troubles doing this with your leg behind you, it's showing you that you don't go into true long angles behind you. Suck in your tummy. Step forward, step back, hips back. Abs are nice and tight. What's the number?
11.
Okay, we're gonna go to 15 or 16. What number is that?
15.
I knew that. Abs.
Might as well go to 20.
Okay, let's go to 20. Just because it's such a good stretch, and it really undoes some really bad mechanics. What number is that?
20.
Okay, stay here. Your abs are nice and tight. You're going to do hip circles. Really try to do true hip circles where your hips go side to side equally. Notice if there's a direction that gets stuck. And now go on. 9.
6.
Oh, 6. Suck in that tummy. Try not to move your head.
10.
Go in the opposite direction. Keep your abs engaged. You'll see why we're stretching it out, because this is one of our fundamental problems. That's why first thing in the morning, you can't stand up straight, and you probably have what feel like sore feet.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to switch sides. Notice if this side feels exactly the same or completely different. Abs are nice and tight. Notice if you feel it in your gastroc or in your soleus. Abs are nice and tight. Your soleus is the deep calf muscle. Gastroc is your superficial calf muscle. Keep breathing, keep your abs engaged. First, second, third chakras are on. Jaw relaxed. Really feel that stretch and how it makes you want to round your shoulders and push your head forward. Pull your head back, draw your shoulder blades down and back. Okay, hip circles.
Step.
Oh yes, step forward, hips forward, step back, hips back. This is why Mario's in my life. Apparently what we're wearing doesn't match, and you know, color-wise, but I made Mario wear it anyways because I didn't know better. I think it matches, doesn't it? I don't know. Well, since we're wearing it uniformly, it looks like it matches. This is what's important. Abs are nice and tight. Hips forward, hips back. Try to keep both feet parallel, even in the rear. Suck in that tummy. Really feel that stretch. It should be getting to start the process of lengthening. So don't let that foot turn out in the rear. Keep it parallel. Suck in that tummy.
20.
Okay. Feet parallel. Hip circles. Don't move your head. Keep your tummy sucked in. Abs are engaged. Smiles are up. Opposite direction. So we have to do a little bit more warm up to do the short angles and long angles.
10.
Okay, we're gonna flip back to the other foot. The block goes under the ball of your left foot, heels down, feet are parallel, abs are nice and tight. You're gonna bend and straighten your right leg. Make sure that knee goes straight forward, straight back, it doesn't go medial. Make sure your feet stay parallel and your abs stay engaged. Don't want to turn off, especially in this position, because it's a resting position. Suck in that tummy. Smiles are up. Okay, now keep your right leg straight, bend and straighten your left leg. Make sure that knee goes straight forward, straight back. It will definitely want to go medial. Don't let it go medial because we're trying to clean up mechanics. And you'll figure out why you don't like using the shorter angles.
10.
Okay?
20. What?
Let's do 20 on this one. It's pretty tight on me, and that's all that matters. Whew. Abs are nice and tight, sucking your tummy. Oh, you guys matter to us. Okay, hands and stick them up. We're gonna squat. There's gonna be a lot of hip flexion on this. That's okay. That's what we want. Try to keep your chest up though. Keep those knees over tops of your feet and your feet parallel. Okay, this one will switch.
Before Michael forgets.
Yes, exactly. Abs are nice and tight, your feet are parallel. Knees are over tops of feet. You're gonna bend and straighten your left leg. Make sure that knee goes straight forward and straight back. No internal rotation of the knees. That is a shortcut that gets you into a lot of problems. Keep your abs engaged, especially when your hip goes out. Abs on. Suck that tummy in. Okay. Then we're gonna bend and straighten your right leg, keeping your left leg straight. Make sure that knee goes straight forward, straight back. Don't let it do any internal rotation or valgum. Valgum is where it makes an L shape with your leg. You don't like that. Abs are nice and tight. Really get that ankle to open up that calf muscle. This is opening up specifically the soleus muscle.
20.
Okay, and then hands and stick them up as we squat away. We're gonna squat after this. You're gonna notice how much easier it is to squat now that we've done these little stretches. And that's what opens us up into the shorter angles. Abs are engaged. Okay, we're gonna step off the block for a moment. Just notice what it feels like to stand. It's gonna feel a lot easier to stay forward in your stance the way we're supposed to. Hands and stick them up, we're gonna go squat. Try to lower your butt down as far as you can and then come back up. Abs are nice and tight. You should notice that your ankles are no longer restricting your squat motion and more energy should be in your calves. We're working muscles, not joints, so you shouldn't feel anything in your knees or your ankles. You should feel it in muscles like your quads and your butt. Suck in that tummy on the top and the bottom especially.
Last one.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go back to the block. You're gonna put your ball of your foot on the block. That's your left ball of your foot. Your feet are parallel. We're gonna go into high heel first so you can feel what it feels like to go into a long angle at the ankle. Abs are nice and tight. Flexion of knee, knees over top of your foot. Majority weight is over that first metatarsal head. Abs are nice and tight. Feet are parallel. Here we go, not too exciting. We're gonna squat. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Keep breathing. Okay, now we're gonna go long angles of your metatarsal heads. Abs are nice and tight. Majority weight is in your right leg now. Squat away. Abs are nice and tight. Watch the alignment of your knees. Keep your core on to protect those toes. Suck in that tummy. Okay, we are switching sides. High heel, knees are parallel, feet are parallel, knees are over tops of your feet. Majority weight is over that first metatarsal head. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy or squatting away. Smiles are up. Keep breathing. Jaws relaxed. Okay. Flip those toes over, long angles of the toes, majority weight on your left leg. Abs are nice and tight. Keep breathing. Smiles are up. This one's for Amy. Keep breathing. Abs stabilized. Okay. Let the games begin. Let's see how we'll have them begin. We're gonna work small angles. We're gonna go down onto your knee. So you're on your left knee, your right foot's forward. Gotta think my way through this one. Abs are nice and tight. They look good in my head. It's unraveling as it's coming into reality. Chest up, shoulder blades are down and back. We are gonna start out working small angles of the knee, long angles of the ankle. You're gonna lift and lower once again. Keep that knee over the top of your foot. Don't let it do this. This is horrible. We want it to do this. We do not want it to do this. Knee over the top of your foot. Just warming up that ankle and the mechanics. Abs are nice and tight.
20.
Okay, here we go. Arms go back behind you. This time your heels down, abs are nice and tight, your spine is straight. We are hinging from the hips, so first, second, third chakra stays on. No pressure in your low back because that's a joint. We're working muscles. We're gonna hinge forward and then come back up. You should feel your butt working. Squeeze your shoulders, blades down and back. The length of your spine doesn't change because we're changing the angle at the hip, not from the low back, which is a common mistake. We're only doing 10 of these, maybe even less.
10.
Okay, lift up your heel. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. You got to work your balance. Time under tension. Here we go. We're working joints. Now we're not working joints. We're working muscles, not joints. Keeping the work out of the joints. Sucking that tummy. Like 1950s dancing. Okay, good. Oh. You know what, we're gonna switch before we do the other side because you'll see why. It's pretty intense. Working small angles is intense, and that's why we gotta give your muscles a little bit of break, make sure they're properly turned on, because it's a lot of mechanical energy that's gonna be activated. Abs are nice and tight, chest up. You're just gonna lift and lower your heel. I'm gonna line up with the camera more. Make sure that knee stays over the top of your foot, sucking that tummy. Smiles are up. It really looked like 1950s mod hipster dancing. Okay, keep that heel down now. Abs are nice and tight, arms are back behind you. Sucking your tummy. As you hinge, come back up. Keep breathing. Smiles are up. Feel what it feels like to work from your hips and not your low back. Your low back is a bunch of joints. We don't want to work joints. We want to work your big muscles like your glute max.
Okay.
Okay, good. Heel up. Abs are nice and tight. Knee over top of your foot. Watch alignment. Sucking that tummy. Ooh, hinge. Balance. Smiles are up. You should feel your quad working, which is a muscle. This is good. Your butt working, and your abs working. Good. We're gonna switch back to the other side. Come back. I need a counter. Abs are nice and tight. We're in this position. Your left toes are curled in behind you. Oh, that's much nicer. Abs are nice and tight, hands are back behind you. We are gonna lift up 1 biological inch off of this block. Whoop, there it is. Abs are nice and tight, and here we go, sucking your tummy. We're gonna hinge forward and come back up. Your knee is floating over the top of the block. The majority work is in your right butt cheek, right quad. Abs are on, nothing in your low back, nothing in your knees, because we're working muscles and not joints. Sucking that tummy. You should feel your butt burning. Don't raise up higher. Stay 1 inch above the block. What number?
9, 10.
Okay, we're gonna switch. I was gonna continue on, but let's switch back and forth because it is intense. Okay, same thing. Abs are nice and tight. Arms go back behind you. We're gonna lift up 1 inch off that block. Boink. Abs are nice and tight. Here we go. Sucking that tummy. No pressure into your low back because you're using your butt and your quad. No pressure in your knees or your low back. Keep breathing. Notice if one side's harder than the other. Abs, what number are we on?
9,
Keep that knee low.
10.
Okay. Switch sides. So your toes are curled under on this one. Okay? Same thing, only you're gonna lift your heel high. This is where it gets kind of detail oriented and staying in your core. Shoulder blades are down and back. You're sucking in your tummy. Come on. You gotta help count. Okay, hands go back behind you. You're gonna keep that right heel off the ground, and you're gonna lift up 1 inch off the ground. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna hinge forward, come back out. Woo! Hold your balance. Sucking that tummy. Smiles are up. Knee is floating 1 inch off the block. This looks really like 50s dancing. Abs are nice and tight. Cigarette pants, berets, and white shirts. Okay, down, we switch sides. You should feel pressure in your quad muscles and in your butt muscles, not in your knee joints. Shoulder blades are down and back, high heel, abs are nice and tight, first, second, third chakras are on. Remember, only 1 inch as we lift up, and then we hinge forward, and then come back up. Abs are nice and tight. Keep the left heel off of the ground, keep your knee floating above the block. Suck in that tummy. Abs are nice and tight. Feel that butt working. Feel the quad working.
10.
10, good. Rest. Whew. We switch sides. You're gonna keep your heel down on this one. We're only gonna do 5. Arms go back behind us. You're gonna float 1 inch off the block once again, and then you're gonna straighten that rear leg, and then you're gonna go back to that float position. Don't touch it, float. 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest. Okay, now your heel goes up. All right, we're ready for this. Lift up 1 inch off the block. Hands go back behind you, abs are nice and tight, straighten that leg, float it. 1, 2, oh my goodness, what numbers?
4, 5.
And rest. Okay, switch sides. Your thighs should be on fire if we have done this correctly. Heel is down, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy, arms go back behind you, first, second, third chakras on, straighten that leg, whoops, float it 1 inch above the block first, and then straighten it. Float, straighten, float, straighten. Keep breathing. That 5?
6.
5. Okay. Now you're gonna lift your heel up. We're only doing 5. Abs are nice and tight, 1 inch floating, and then extending. Float, extend. This is small angles of the knee, long angles of the ankle. Hardest combination. Abs are nice and tight.
5.
5, okay. Rest. Woo!
Yeah, like we did 6.
Okay. We're gonna switch sides again. Your knees on the block. We're doing this, some of the standard stuff. We're gonna push your hips forward, stretch out that rectus femoris, send your hips side to side. Suck in that tummy. Your head should not move. It should stay over the top of the block because it's part of the riding reflex. Riding, hunting reflex. Okay. Let's see how we did it last time. Oh, we're gonna push our hips. Oh, I remember. How do we do that stretch? Did we do it side by side? Did we do it this way? I forgot. Okay, we're gonna push our hips way over to the left as we push our hips forward. So you're pushing your hips forward. See how Maria's hips are forward? This is gonna stretch out what's called the tensor fasciae lata as well as the glute medius. Take that right leg across midline as we stretch. You should also feel this in the flank as well as you get the lower fibers of your obliques. Push those hips forward. Ooh. I remember now how we got it.
Got what?
The stretch.
What stretch?
The stretch.
Oh.
Smiles are up. Okay, now you're gonna stick your booty out. Push your hips over. This will get more of your glute medius, glute minimus. See how Maria's hips are back more? Suck in your tummy, like I just did, which I can do now, which is more exciting. I will tell you about my cleanse experience later. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. We're gonna push the hips forward, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking tummy, first, second, third chakra, no pressure in your low back. Hips go side to side, we're opening up that rectus femoris. Your head should stay over the top of the block. Smiles are up. And yes. Now, you're gonna cross this leg across midline. Again, how to do this so I don't block off Maria. I'll move over this way. That's how I'll do it.
It's okay.
And no, I do not block Maria's view of the light. Push your hips forward and then hips off to the right. Hip tightness leads to hip pain, but before it leads to hip pain, it usually causes knee problems, even low back problems. This is why we're opening this up. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. Okay, now you're gonna stick your booty out and push your hips over to the right. Feel that stretch. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in that tummy. Okay, switch sides. You can put your knees side by side. You can put your roller off to the right side this time. Both sets of toes are off the ground. You're gonna lower your hip down, abs are nice and tight. We're gonna work the glute medius on this left side. And as you lift up, you're gonna also use the oblique on the right side. So it's lift and lower. So what we're isolating out is long and short angle in some of the major joints. And you can see how you can do substitutions, which are sort of the problem. Smiles are up. Use that oblique. Are we on week 3 of the cleanse or week 4? 10 years,
3.
That feels about right. We're on week 3?
No, week 3, yeah.
Yeah.
We just did 10.
Okay. So now, you're gonna do this without the roller. You're gonna start out on your knee, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little stepping through. Step through, step back. The goal is not to move your leg out to the side. Have it come through. How many is that?
4.
We're gonna do 5 of these and we're gonna add a detail. Okay, so that was 5. Now you're gonna get your second block and you're gonna make a hurdle. So you're in a T-bone kind of position. Let me switch so you can see. No, I don't have the right colored blocks. There we go. So they're T-boning each other like that. Now we're gonna hurdle and take your foot over the top of the block and not around. Over the top and back. This is making you into safe walkers.
Oops.
This is like the steeplechase. You get deducted if you kick the hurdle. No more? How many is that?
6.
Okay, we'll stop at 6. It's pretty intense if you do it correctly. We're gonna switch sides. First, no block. I want you to get the feel of that motion. You're kneeling. You're getting ready to run. You're gonna bring your foot through and don't take it around. Keep your abs engaged, suck in that tummy. Is this 5?
5.
Ah! Don't fall off balance like I just did. T-bone your blocks. Suck in your tummy. Get ready to go. And here we go. Over the top. Don't go around the block. And that means you really have to work your hip mechanics. It's gonna show you where you cheat. Long angles in your hip. Don't, my block fell over on its own. Plus it's just fun. If you're not having fun with this, you're too intense. Is this 5?
5.
Okay, don't go around the block. Okay, now we only need 1 block again. As you see, we're working the lower extremities a little bit on this time because we're working the long angles in the lower extremities right now. But we're building in a break here for you guys. Okay, you're gonna put your knee on the block, hands on the ground. So what we're gonna try to do is drop our right knee low. You're gonna actually try to touch the ground, and then we're gonna lift up. Lift lower. This is a small angle motion of your hip, but one that's important for stability. So we call this position the low position. We'll call this one the high position just for reference.
10.
Okay, we're gonna switch sides first because that's harder work than you think because we don't like using those muscles if we don't have to. Low position, high position. Keep your abs engaged, suck in your tummy, first, second, third chakras are on. Move from the hip. The only place you should feel this is in your right hip and your abs. It's got to be 10.
10.
Good. Okay, we're gonna switch again. So for pretty simple movement that causes a lot of muscular activation and sculpting of the butt. I was born with an Asian butt, so I'll never have the figure skater butt that I always dreamed of having as a kid. But I will have more than my Asian brethren that have no butts because I do this stuff. I'm making sure you guys have butts because you shall have my dream. Okay, your hands are down. We're gonna go into low knee position or low hip position. You're not going to raise your left hip, but you are going to take your right leg out to the side. This will work your right glute max. So your knee stays low on the right as you take your leg out to the side. It's not going to go very high. Abs are nice and tight. This is working your glute max in turnout. Oh, we can put that on the list.
10.
Okay. Now we're going to go to the high position. High, 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 high. We're going to work in the open position. Try to keep your left elbow straight. Try to get your knee higher than your hip and your foot. Suck in your tummies. Work those abs. What number?
10.
Okay, good. Switch sides. Okay. I'm just gonna rest here for a second. I was in a martial arts tournament and I got hit in the face and I'm just like, I'm gonna give my opponent a moment of rest here. Not me, but my opponent, out of the goodness of my heart. Okay.
You've been working with Kai too often.
Okay, drop that knee down into low position. Abs are nice and tight. Don't raise up from this hip. You're using your left hip. Take your leg out to side. It won't go very high. Abs are nice and tight. Let's go back to lifting that leg up in the low position. Start again. 1, 2. I'll let Mario take over the count. That's as far as I can go. Keep that hip low. Okay. Now raise your hip up into the high position. Abs are nice and tight. Keep your right elbow straight as you take your leg out to the side. Huh? What number are we on?
6.
9?
10.
10. Okay. Oh, we're just gonna rub your booty out a little bit because it might have gotten sore. And we're doing this for you, not for me. Okay. You can grab your blocks because we're gonna stretch out the toes once again. Just so important. Small angles at the knee. Suck in your tummy, long angles at the toe. We're gonna lean back, lift up. So we have to be able to get these opposing combinations because if you don't, we start breaking things accidentally. Abs are nice and tight. We're doing sit-ups here. Suck in your tummy, suck in your tummy. Look at it going in. I got a mini Momona now. Mini Mona. So this is the third week of the cleanse. I've lost a total of 8 pounds. Kai's lost a total of what?
14.
14. How much have you lost?
I don't know.
Mario won't go on the scale. And let's curl those toes under. Push your heels back. If you feel excessive pressure in those metatarsal heads, just really push the heels back. That's the big key. We're trying to stretch out the plantar fascia foot and the Achilles tendon into gastrocnemius. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. But probably the biggest thing I notice about this cleanse is the increase in energy because I'm carrying 8 less pounds around today. Kai must be feeling awesome. Sucking that tummy. How many is that?
16.
Good. 18, 19, 20. Good. Whew. We're going to do some pelvic floor work now because your butt should be thoroughly sore as well as your lower half of your body. We're going to put the ball on top of the block and then put the ball midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone.
Hey, you have to tell them how easy your push-ups are now.
Oh, push-ups are a lot easier carrying 8 less pounds. Maybe I was lying to myself. I may have lost actually more because I didn't want to, I kind of assumed my starting weight was lower to please myself. But now I wish I had actually looked at my starting weight so I know. Chest up, shoulder blades down back, head over the top of your pelvic floor. This is pelvic floor exercises, so we're going to start there. You're going to tighten your pelvic floor and relax. You're squeezing that pelvic floor, trying to squeeze this ball to a cone. Simultaneously tighten your abs, close up your rib cage. You don't know how big a problem it is to have a weak pelvic floor. That's just bad. All of a sudden you stop laughing because when you laugh, you leak. You stop coughing because when you cough, you leak. You stop picking up heavy things because when you lift up that heavy thing, you leak. So we're preventing that by tightening your pelvic floor. We're gonna take your leg out to the side now. We're gonna open it up a little bit. Your legs will come apart on this one. Abs nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Oh, sorry, Maria.
No, I'm just changing my.
Oh, she said they can cheat. Abs tight. Relax. Tight. Relax. So this is what it's like to have your legs apart with your pelvic floor on. That's a great combination. That way you step over a fence and you don't leak. This is so basic. We don't like leaking and eking. Abs are nice and tight. What number? Okay, we switch sides. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Tighten that pelvic floor, relax. Keep that quad on. Chest up. Okay. We're gonna, bring both feet back. We're gonna stay wide with our feet turned out. So we're gonna feel like this. Like we're sumo wrestlers. Is it called the Grand Kaiseki? Or is that food?
That's food.
Okay. Just up, what is it called? The Grand?
Yokozuna?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Abs are nice and tight. Squeeze that pelvic floor, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. This again in the open position. Suck in that tummy, chest up. Okay, we're gonna try this a few times. Hands going to stick them up. You're gonna come up off the ball and then back down. Small motion, up off the ball and down. These are small angles once again, deep into the hips. You have to keep your pelvic floor on. Come on, Gillen! What number are we on?
10.
Okay, good. Rest here for a second. We're gonna go back into closed angles as we put our knees together. So make sure you're still on the ball midway between your pubic bone and tailbone. Knees are touching. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy, release. Suck in your tummy, release. This is easier to activate your pelvic floor. We talked about seasonal motion last week. There are movements we did to conserve heat. This is one of them. Kept the legs closer together, tightened up the pelvic floor. Then we lose range of motion in the hips. That's why we're opening them up. Okay, we're gonna go into another opening position. Oh, this may take a little coordination, but you're gonna put the soles of your feet together and your knees come out. You can put your fingers on the ground or you can use your your block to balance you. Lines out of reach. Abs are nice and tight. See if you can balance. Suck in your tummy. It's okay if you can't. We're trying. Just working the pelvic floor in the open position. Don't push me. Just a little bit longer, abs engaged. Whoo! Okay, good. We're gonna put our knees back down. So we're working range of motion. Okay, so our knees are together, chest is up, balls midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Here you go. You're gonna take your arms, turn them out. Like this, hold it here, chest up, abs nice and tight, and then you're just gonna pump your arms out. Hold, 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 hold. In martial arts, this is an opening stance because it winds up the muscular tension of the shoulders. That's what we're doing right now. Keep your pelvic floor on, abs are nice and tight, knees are together. Okay, now we're gonna go the opposite direction. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. It should make you look really broad in the shoulders. Abs are nice and tight. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back, suck in that tummy. So you're feeling all the plyometric energy in the shoulders. And good. Now we're going to do a long angle. Your arms, right arm's almost straight. You're going to try to bend it, but we're going to resist it. So this is a long angle. We're pushing down, abs are nice and tight. Draw your shoulder blades level, and then we're going to twist left and right. Bend. If you don't feel this in your bicep, you're not using your arm enough. Abs are nice and tight. It should be a burning. When that movie on?
10.
Okay. Now you're going to bend it into a short angle. So we got a nice little short angle. We're going to push it away. Shoulders level, abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. We're doing the same thing. Really pull and push. Pull and push, pull and push, like a healthy relationship. Pushing and pulling. Never getting close. Abs are nice and tight.
10.
Okay, let's do it on the other side. Long angle. You're going to try to bend this arm. We're going to resist it. Shoulders are level. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to twist it. Keep breathing. Jaws relaxed.
10.
You should also feel this in your abs because we're working our abs. Shorten that angle up. Going to push away. Shoulders are level. Twist. This is like when you catch a wasp in a cup with a piece of paper underneath it and you're walking it outside. Okay. Now we're going to work the tricep. We're going to work it at a longer angle away from the body. It's going to like straighten out this way. You're resisting it. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. It's like you're dowsing for water. I got a great story about that. And then we're going to do the other side. Oh, no, yes, that's right. We'll do the other side first. Long angle. We're going to resist. Shoulders are square. Abs on. Twist. Push away. Really work the muscles of your arms. We're trying to give tone to the arms. Okay, now we're going to do the shorter angle. Here, abs are not.
This side.
Oh, this side first. Sorry, Mario's right. Short angle. Keep your elbow in. It'll want to wing out. Keep it in. Push away. Chest up, shoulders square. Twist. Suck in that tummy. Okay, other side. Keep that elbow in. Push away. Resist it. Abs are nice and tight.
10.
And good. So I had a client, this is kind of interesting. He was called a water dowser. He would take 2 sticks and he'd hold it together, just like in the old time movies. And he'd walk across someone's property, and usually farmers, he worked for farmers, and he'd find out where they had water. And they'd tell him, this is where you want to drill your water or your well for your farm. So I'm just like, you know, there aren't that many farms around. How do you really make your money? And it turns out he dowses for the oil companies too. And he had an 85% success rate. That's insane. 2 sticks. There'd be these guys with scientific graphs, underwater sonar and x-ray. And this guy has 2 sticks and he's out there and he has 85% success. That's just really insane. Okay, we're gonna take the arms far out to the outside now. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy, your elbows are tight into your body. Sucking your tummy, chest up, you're gonna just pump your arms backwards. You'll see why we're doing these in a second, because we're gonna do a type of plank. Sucking that tummy. Okay, you're gonna turn it inward, 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 inward. They're close. And you're gonna push those arms out, but you're gonna keep your elbows in. So it's a pivot around your arm as you go back. It's like you're pushing someone away that's too close to you behind you. Chest up, be gone, person behind me of annoyance. Sucking that tummy. Okay, shake out those arms. We're gonna come off the ball and on the block to do small and short angle of the arms. We're gonna find out how we prefer one group over the other. We're gonna go into a push-up position. If you can't go into a push-up position, you can go into push-up kneeling position. But we're gonna just hold this because this is the long angle of the arms. And we're gonna hold this for a total of 10 seconds. I'll let Mario count. Anything?
7, 8, 9, and 10.
Okay, so you saw how easy it is to use your arms at the long angle. Okay, we're about to use them in the short angle. You're gonna see how much you don't like this. And we're gonna go in that position. It's gonna be a push-up in the down position. We're just gonna hold it. Go ahead, Mario, start counting. The number?
8, 9, 10.
All right. So you quickly found out that the short angles are harder on the upper extremity. We're gonna do it one more time in each position. Just because it's fun. It's a muggy day today. It's just making us feel more miserable in this mugginess. This, on Friday, Maria did, and I did something. It was cool. It was called Holo Holo. And it doesn't mean donut or the gas station. Anyway, we were down over by Lanikai Juice in Kailua, and the air got really still. And then it was like fog, vaporous, thick air came in. It was really weird.
Like heavy fog on the Big Island.
And it just sat there, and you could see it like smoke in the street. It was strange. Okay, here we go. Second time around, stalled enough. Sucking your tummy. Abs are nice and tight. You are tightening your abs. This is time under tension, so you don't want to take, because you feel tension in your arms, move it down, take it away from some other part of your body. Keep it in your abs as we stay time under tension.
10.
Okay, rest. So we're gonna do 10 seconds on the lower half. You already felt how tiring it was. 1, we're gonna do it because we like nice tone arms. We don't like that wobbly thing underneath our tricep. Okay, here we go. Lower position, we're holding 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. Oh. Okay. We're just going to do a few sit-ups just to get us turned on to our center, not because we didn't do enough already. Ball's gonna go in the small of your back. Hands go back behind you. The more comfortable you look on the floor, like moving and your agility on the floor, the more comfortable you're gonna look standing and moving around in life. And that's why it's important to do floor work. Get on the floor periodically, get up off the floor without looking like you're stumbling, because if you stumble on the floor, you're gonna stumble standing. And that's what makes us look old, and our body believes that we're old and we lose confidence. Shoulder blades down, back, abs nice and tight. First chakra, your pelvic floor is on. Third chakra, your upper abs are turned on. And then second chakra is gonna pop that ball. Maria introduced me to a very interesting concept, is confidence in the body. When you start losing confidence in your body and its ability to move, you lose confidence in who you are. And I really didn't make that connection. I did, but I didn't. But it wasn't until she concreted it into my head that we started seeing it everywhere. Who's losing confidence and how it relates to how they move first, and then it slowly grows into the psyche, and that's why we do a lot of these uncomfortable movements. What number are we on?
30.
Okay, grab your knees, abs are nice and tight, chest is up, shoulder blades are down, back, first, second, third chakras are on. We're going to do our Bruce Lee punches without bending our elbows. We're going to punch to the right with our left and left with our right. You're sucking in your tummy every time you come up. You know, I really don't like this cleanse, but I like what it's doing to my body, and I may have to continue after the cleanse is over. Keep breathing.
20.
Okay. Rest with your arms back behind you. Now we do contralateral work. Arms are to your sides, off the ground. We're going to do opposite hand to opposite foot. So we had a client here the other day, and we had him tie his shoelace. There's a rule of thumb. If you can't tie the bow over the top of your foot and you tie it off to the inside of your foot, you're getting too tight. You probably have back pain too. So this is an exercise that allows you to tie a bow over the top of your shoe versus over the inside of your shoe. Okay, legs go straight. Suck in your tummy. Arms go back behind your head this time. You're going to try to go back as far as you possibly can without clenching your butt, and then you're going to come back up. Maria can go far down because she's got long legs in proportion to her upper body. I have a long torso in proportion to my tiny little legs, so I can't go back as far. And that's the only reason. Suck in that tummy. You can do it! We'll keep going till Gillen goes. Go, Gillen!
10.
And good. Now you're going to arch over the top of the ball. Oh, because in a short amount of time, we've done a lot of stuff. Rock from side to side. Bend your knees. Ball goes underneath your sacrum. Your knees are going to bend. This is more of working small angles. So what we're going to do is put our legs up into the air, and we're going to do a drop. You're going to drop your heels to your butt. Then you're going to do it again. Just keep dropping. There should be no pain in your knees, pressure, or discomfort, because we're non-weight bearing, and we now understand time under tension, and we're using muscles instead of joints. And this will help you get into smaller angles. How many is that?
60.
Okay. Make sure those heels touch your butt. And that's 20. Go ahead and straighten your legs once again. Rock from side to side. You guys have done an amazing job. Go ahead, come onto your roller lengthwise. So small angles are difficult to do because it costs energy, and that's why We will figure out an efficiency pattern in which we can use long angles on one side of our body or in certain motions, and smaller angles in other positions. And we have to be able to recalibrate all of them. And you saw how difficult that was, and how, especially around the knees, we don't like small angles. You saw what we could do with the arms, keeping them always extended instead of flexing them and doing work at different distances. Especially since the length of our arms don't usually change during the day based upon work, because we figure out, again, an efficiency pattern. So the goal is to break up those efficiency patterns so the body has a chance to rest and recalibrate. Just notice what your breathing's like as you're on the roller. Feet parallel, knees over the tops of your feet. First, second, third chakras are on, your shoulder blades are down and back. Yay, the garbage truck is here. I'm going to come off the roller. You guys stay on the roller. Feel what it feels like to connect. Feel what it feels like to lengthen your spine and flex your knees. That's the way we want to stand. Long spine, shock absorption through the legs, stabilization through the upper half of the body. Notice what it's like to breathe in this position. There is much craziness going on in the world right now. Your job is to find your center. Because when there are tornadoes of craziness going on around you, it's the grounded person that provides the most amount of shelter. So breathe. Anchor into your center. Connect to your breath. Find meditation. And find your way into the eye of the storm instead of staying on the edges where you can get tattered and beaten up. You guys have done an amazing job. And on behalf of Maria and me, we're just so grateful that you show up and you're willing to do these crazy things that we have you do and examine the thought processes that we come up with. But not only do you make our lives better, you make other people's lives better as we see things through us and through you guys. So we just want to extend our gratitude to you guys. And namaste.
Namaste.
Bye, Gillen.